Today we will discuss about some minerals. That is, the discussion is mineral metabolism. The first one, the important one is calcium. But before going to the discussion of calcium proper, let us first discuss about the definition of minerals. They are essential element for normal growth and function of body. Our body requires many minerals for its normal function, and they are divided into two groups. One, major elements or macro elements, and second one is micro elements or trace elements. The major elements or macro elements requirement per day is more than 100 milligram, and in case of micro elements or trace elements, the requirement is less than 100 milligram per day. Now, among the major elements, some examples are calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, chloride, sulfur, fluoride. And some microelements or trace elements, iron, iodine, copper, manganese, zinc, molybdenum, selenium. I have already told you that we will discuss about calcium today as macro elements. Now, calcium, total amount in our body 1 to 1.5 kg, of which 99% in bone and teeth and 1% in ECF or extracellular fluid. Next is sources about calcium. Milk is the major source of calcium, or rather a good source. Calcium content of cow's milk about 100 milligram per 100 ml. Egg, fish, vegetables, they are also good sources, but cereals are poor sources of calcium. Now, distribution. Extracellular calcium is 100 times more than the intracellular calcium. The requirement of calcium, in case of adult, it is 500 milligram per day. In case of children, it is 1200 to 1500 milligram per day. Requirement may be increased to 1500 milligram during pregnancy and lactation. After the age of 50, there is a general tendency for osteoporosis, which may be prevented by increased calcium plus vitamin D. Plasma calcium level is about 9 to 11 milligram per deciliter, of which 4.5 to 5 milligram per deciliter is ionized. This is the physiologically active form of calcium. I repeat, this is the physiologically active form of calcium, and majority of rest bound to protein. About 4 milligram per deciliter of calcium is bound to proteins in blood and is non-diffusible. And another 1 milligram per deciliter is complexed with phosphate, bicarbonate and citrate. These two forms are diffusible from blood to tissues. These two meaning ionized calcium and the calcium which is complexed with phosphate, bicarbonate and citrate. Whereas protein bound form is, which is bound to proteins in blood, is non-diffusible. Absorption. Absorption takes place from duodenum and from proximal jejunum. Duodenum and proximal jejunum held by protein calbindin. Absorption requires energy and it is against concentration gradient, and it is held by a carrier protein that I have told you, the name of which is calbindin, and also held by calcium dependent ATPase. Excretion: out of 500 milligram of calcium taken orally, 400 milligram per day is excreted in stool, and more or less 100 milligram is excreted through urine. Factors affecting absorption. So increased absorption of calcium takes place by the help of vitamin D or calcitriol. Calcitriol induces the synthesis of the carrier protein calbindin in the intestinal epithelial cells and facilitates absorption of calcium. This is the first one. Second one is parathyroid hormone. It increases calcium transport from the intestinal cells. And also acidity favors calcium absorption. Similarly, amino acids like lysine and arginine increases calcium absorption. Now, what are the factors which decreases absorption? Number one, phytates. This phytate or phytic acid of inositol is present in cereals, and this decreases absorption. Second one is oxalates. This present in leafy vegetables and delays absorption. Third one, phosphates. High phosphate content will cause precipitation as calcium phosphate and therefore delays absorption. And fourth one is malabsorption syndrome. This is because in malabsorption syndrome, fatty acid is also not absorbed, and this is causing insoluble calcium salt of fatty acid and delays absorption of calcium. Now, functions of calcium. One is activation of enzymes. Calcium helps in the activation of enzymes. Calmodulin is a protein, regulatory protein, calcium binding regulatory protein that bind 4 calcium ions. And calcium binding leads to activation of enzyme. Calmodulin is part of various regulatory kinases. Some of the examples of enzymes activated by calcium and mediated by calmodulin is like myosin kinase, phospholipase C, phosphorylase kinase, etc. Second function, muscles. Action of calcium over muscles. Role in contraction and excitation. Different types of calcium channels helps in this type of mechanism and helps in the contraction and excitation of the muscle. The trigger of muscle contraction is the interaction of calcium with protein troponin C. The active transport system utilizing calcium binding protein is calciquestrine. Calcium decreases neuromuscular irritability. Calcium deficiency causes tetany. Third function, nerve conduction. Calcium is necessary for transmission of nerve impulses from presynaptic to postsynaptic region. Secretion of hormones. Calcium mediates secretion of different hormones like insulin, parathyroid hormone, calcitonin, vasopressin, etc. from the cells. Second messenger, calcium and cyclic AMP are second messengers of different hormones. One example is glucagon. Calcium is used as second messenger in systems involving G protein and inositol triphosphate. Vascular permeability. Calcium decreases the passage of serum through capillaries. So calcium is clinically used to reduce allergic exudates. One of the most important functions of the calcium is coagulation of blood. It is known as factor 4 in blood coagulation cascade. Prothrombin contains gamma-carboxyglutamate residues which are chelated by calcium during the thrombin formation. Role over myocardium, calcium prolongs systole. When the level of calcium is increased, which is called hypercalcemia, cardiac arrest is seen in systole. This fact should be kept in mind when calcium is administered intravenously, and therefore when the situation requires administration of calcium intravenously, it should be given very slowly. Otherwise, heart may arrest in systole. Role in bone and teeth. The bulk quantity of calcium used for bone and teeth. Bones also act as reservoir for calcium in the body. Osteoblasts induce bone deposition and osteoclasts produce demineralization. Calpains. Calpains is a calcium-dependent cystine proteases that modulate cellular functions. Tissue-specific calpains have been implicated in diabetes, cataract, muscular dystrophy, Alzheimer's disease, etc. The calpastatin is an inhibitor of calpain. Regulation of blood calcium done by three agents. The first one is calcitriol, the second one is PTH, and third one is calcitonin. Role of calcitriol. Number out, it induces calbindin synthesis. It induces calbindin synthesis, which in turn helps in the absorption of calcium from intestine. Calbindin remains in intestinal mucosa. This carrier protein remains in intestinal mucosa. Second function of calcitriol, it increases absorption of calcium from kidney. That is absorption from renal tubules. And third function of calcitriol, it increases bone resorption. It stimulates bone resorption, leading to release of calcium and phosphate from bones. Actually, this calcitriol increases the number and activity of osteoblast, the bone-forming cell. Secretion of alkaline phosphatase by osteoblast is increased by vitamin D. Parathyroid hormone, as you know, is secreted by the 4 parathyroid glands embedded in the thyroid tissue. The chip cells of the gland secretes the PTH. It stimulates 1-hydroxylation of 25-hydroxycholecalciferol. It stimulates 1-hydroxylation of 25-hydroxycholecalciferol. This in turn helps in the absorption of calcium from the intestine. Second function of PTH, it increases reabsorption of calcium from kidney tubules. And so PTH causes decreased renal excretion of calcium and increased excretion of phosphates. The action is mainly through increase in reabsorption of calcium from the kidney tubules. Third function of PTH is decalcification of bone. It induces pyrophosphatase in the osteoclasts, and osteoclasts release lactate into surrounding medium, which solubilizes calcium. This causes loss of matrix and bone resorption. And role of calcitonin, it decreases blood calcium, that is by promoting calcium deposition in bone. This function is carried out by decreasing the activity of the osteoclasts and increasing the activity of osteoblasts. So calcitonin and PTH are directly antagonistic. The PTH and calcitonin together promote the bone growth and remodeling. In kidney, calcitonin increases phosphorus excretion through urine. This action is similar to PTH. Disorders of calcium metabolism. The first one is hypercalcemia. When the serum calcium level is greater than 11 milligram per deciliter, 11 milligram per deciliter, it is called hypercalcemia. The causes are hyperparathyroidism, cancer, multiple myeloma, Paget's disease, and vitamin D intoxication. All these you will learn in detail in your subsequent higher medical sciences classes. Here we will discuss the just salient points. Hyperparathyroidism. This is due to adenoma of parathyroid gland. This is most common of hypercalcemia. Second one, cancer. Many solid tumors produce parathyroid hormones related proteins which causes bone reabsorption. Another cause is malignancy is secondary bone infiltration leading to bone reabsorption. Third is multiple myeloma. This is a cancerous situation. Paget's disease and vitamin D intoxication that I have already told you. Hypocalcemia. When the serum calcium level is less than 8.8 milligram per deciliter, it is called hypocalcemia. The common causes are number one, chronic renal failure. Second one is vitamin D deficiency. And third one is hypoparathyroidism. If the serum calcium level is less than 8.5 milligram per deciliter, there will be mild tremors. And if it is less than 7.5 milligram per deciliter, the situation is called tetany. A life-threatening condition will result. Tetany may be due to accidental surgical removal of parathyroid glands or autoimmune diseases. In tetany, neuromuscular irritability is increased. Main manifestations are carpopedal spasms, laryngismus, and stridor. Laryngeal spasm may lead to death. So I depicted you in clinical features. CF, that is clinical feature, laryngeal spasm, carpopedal spasm, Trousseau's sign, and Chostek's sign. Carpopedal spasm refers to contraction of distal muscle of hand, carpal, and feet, pedal, with tingling around mouth and distal parts of the limbs. And Trousseau's sign, the latent tetany can be detected by Trousseau's sign. Inflation of blood pressure curve midway between systolic and diastolic blood pressure will result in carpopedal spasm. This is called Trousseau's sign. And Chostek's sign, that is tapping over fifth cranial nerve, that is facial nerve, causes facial muscle contraction. These two are latent features of latent tetany can be elicited by this method. Thank you all. This is all about calcium metabolism.